show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm Trent, and this is Vision Preparedness. The time is now. The time is now. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing today? And welcome to TORMOIL Tuesday. Let's go. Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's had an amazing day, a productive day, a great day. It is somewhere in the 60s, about 63 degrees in the great state of Ohio. Yeah. And for some reason, my chat's not working over here. Isn't that special? Anywho, good to see everybody. Jane, welcome in. Blackbird, good to see you. My man, Connie Corso. Michelle P.W. Blackbird's in the house. Loretta, family, good to see you. And there is that great name running these YouTube streets, and that would be Coffee First. Then Speak. Good to see you, sister. Hope you're having a great day. Scott Hummer, my man, my guy, my dude. Good to see you. Professor, how you doing? How's your day? You doing all right? Hope you're home, making your way home or something like that. My Renaissance grandma's in the building. Y'all better behave. I'm not going to tell y'all no more. You know, grandma will pull you aside and correct you, but she will do it in love. Yeah, she said, so good to see you. Boone 22 is here. So good to see you. Billy, how are you? How are you? How you doing? Why is it my chat is not scrolling over here? That's interesting. And we'll try this. How's that? And maybe that'll jumpstart it. But welcome in, everybody. My man, Rip Curl Readiness. So good to see you, my brother. Yeah. No one's coming to save you. We're going to talk about that. But, you know, we got a lot of turmoil going on in the world. And it's crazy, y'all. But that's okay. We don't do nothing in fear. We simply keep prepping, keep praying, and keep practicing. That's all we do. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope everybody is staying the course, staying on track, staying focused. Ed, my man, good to see you. How are you, bruh? Please tell Tara I said hello and hope y'all are doing well. It's interesting because, y'all, What's going on here? Nah, EB Mux did some updates, and I don't know what's happening other than I am live and you're here, so I'm here. But that's not going to stop the show. Pilgrim, my man, so good to see you, bruh. And my man, Rescue. It was good hanging out with you today, my brother, at lunchtime. Hope you made the day great. Absolutely. So let's talk about this. And this ain't nothing new. This is not nothing new, nothing we haven't talked about, but I just want to reiterate because all of the crazy things that are going on in the world at any moment, the balloon could pop, the balloon could go up, turmoilcy and chaos would be abound. Paper Buttons 19, so good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great day today as well. So, where you're currently at, where you live, your home, your domicile, your kingdom, your house, your homestead, your apartment, your motorhome, wherever it may be, folks, if SHTF occurs, or just outbreaks of massive violence, no one's coming to save you. If somebody's trying to break in your house or your neighborhood is chaotic, calling 911 is not going to help. Okay? And I was watching the 0 Hour the other night with Rule 2IC, my man Half Ready, and OVP, and special guest Dan H, my guy, my brother, my man. And they were talking briefly about security. And, I got to thinking about that. Well, I have been, but really thinking about it and what's going on. You got to be able to protect what you have. And the most important thing you have to protect is yourself and your family. Okay? Let me make that very clear. That is the number one priority, period. And just to let you know, myself, along with y'all fur nephew, who is currently under the table, sleep and snoring, we are left unsupervised. Yeah. So anything could happen. Michelle PW, good to see you. Jane, how are you? How you doing? My man, Ghost Lincoln is in the building, my personal moderator. Good to see you, my brother. PJ, welcome in. Rabbit, I see you sitting back there in the corner. Good to see you, bruh. You got to protect the family first and foremost. Even if you pick up the phone and number one, it's dead, or you can't get out, 911's not coming. The county sheriff, the local police, whoever, whatever, they're not going to come. So you have to be your own first responder. And the thing is, folks, can you defend your house, your apartment, the building, your trailer, whatever it is? Can you defend it? And I really was thinking about this. And what came to mind was the friends you have. And I'm not talking about the random ones you see in the grocery store or go bowling on Tuesday night. Well, it could be them. But I'm talking about the ones that are in your group, in your mag, in your community, whatever you may call it, that you can count on in a time of trouble. You have to understand something. By the time the balloon goes up, you have to have plans already in place that will trigger everybody to come or go to the common, I'm doing air quotes for those listening, the common location where everybody meets. And unfortunately, I can't post comments because it's broke over here, but I can see them over here. Yeah. Exactly, Scott. The unknown YouTuber. Welcome in. OVP, good to see you. Good to see you, my brother. Um, so my moderators, this is a hands-free zone. Do the due diligence if need be, and we'll talk about it later. But can you protect yourself until your people get there? Or can you protect yourself while you're going to the common location? You need to spend some time and not only think about it, but put a plan and actions in place to do that. Now, personally, for me, I can do my due diligence until the family gets here, plain and simple. But, there's always that but and if and what about that everybody has to think about. What about a band or a group of 15 to 30 armed whoever's shows up? I am going to and will do what needs to be done. And this is something everybody needs to think about. Okay. Can you stave off a skirmish until backup or help arrives? Plain and simple. That's what you need to think about. That's what you need to plan for. We all talk about preps and all of this and that, but security and defense is number one on the list, plain and simple. And Dan H made a great comment on the 0 hour. There's 3 lines or 3 circles of defense. Okay, and we're going to talk about that. The first line would be the outer perimeter of your property, whether house, apartment, whatever. Can you or do you know what's going on outside of your perimeter, outside of your property, down the street, across the hall, or around the corner? Do you have means to take care of that? Can you do that? LMD, good to see you. Welcome in. Nah, exactly, Connie Corso. Yeet some knife hands. Go right ahead. So, your outer perimeter. Do you know what's going on your block? Okay. Second of all, is your perimeter, your property line. You may have to literally walk your property line every 15 minutes, every half hour, depends on what's going on. But you got to make sure that you can protect that. And it's going to take more than one person to do that. And you better be able to have a means of communication while or whoever is doing sentry, guard duty, whatever you want to call it. I suggest getting some FSR radios. We have multiple types of different radios based on the need. We've got FSR, we got GMRS, we got ham radios, and we have more. But you have to be able to establish communications between whoever's pulling guard duty, and also have communications back into your house so they know what's going on as well, or they can say something if if you're doing it right, somebody in that house ought to be scanning some type of frequencies and checking. And when they hear chatter that is applicable, ooh, that's a big word, applicable to your area, to your survival, you need to be able to communicate that out to the people doing guard duty. Yes. Connie Corso, I'm with you. Mine too. All of them. And yeah, we had a hawk run into one of our windows today, and the ADT system went ballistic. And the hawk was laying on the front porch on his back, which I thought he broke his neck and was dead. But then he moved his head, and then he stood up and just stood there for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then he disappeared. So hopefully he's not hurt and or not injured. But ADT was not happy, and yeah, that's how that went. But your perimeter, you got to be able to patrol it and secure it and keep it secured. Then you have your inner, what I call inner perimeter, meaning your yard. Okay. Can you watch and see from inside the house, yards, corners, blind spots, all sides of the house? If you have cameras, that's great. But here's the thing about cameras, because this is 2025 and everybody has internet-based connected cameras. And if the internet goes down, what are you going to do? How are you protecting and being able to see what's going on around your house and your property? So you can see the yard and all that. The next is the physical inside the house. They kick in a door, come crashing through a window. Can you dispatch and take care of business? LMD said, silly question, but which of the three would you want to use quiet methods of defense, and which would you want to make noise? It depends on the situation. If there's 20 people coming up my drive and they mean us harm, we will know as soon as they get there, and we're going to start taking care of business. That's after everybody has gotten there. Me, myself, I'm going to let them get a little closer. I'm going to let them get in between the property line and the perimeter, because my property's laid out different, and I have things along the way that will let me know exactly where they're at. But if they're coming in force with defense tools to do harm, it's going to kick off pretty quick. I hope that answered your question, LMD. Never let them get close to the house, plain and simple. Depending on if it's a SHTF world without law, then soon as they cross that property line and start doing malicious things, personally, this is for entertainment purposes only, YouTube. So don't stop my stream. Don't strike us. Don't do whatever y'all do, because y'all are stupid anyway. We're going to let it rip. I hope that answered your question. And that's not a silly question. And Rabbit, I'm with you. We don't have internet-based cameras either. And I'll leave it at that. Much tested. Welcome in. It is so good to see you. CV Farmers in the house. Good to see you too, sir. Hope you had a great day. Hope you made it a great day. Man, I wish my chat over here would work so I could put up comments, but I can't. And that's stupid. Anyway, Katrinka, welcome in. Based on your situation, your layout, you'll know when it's time to do the do. I'll say that. Um, I have an extensive security layers mixed in amongst the three rings: the perimeter, midway, the yard, and so forth. There are many things in between all of that can deter, detect, and let's just say dispatch if necessary. But you got to be able to guard what you be able to protect what you have. And if you have to rely on help, put those plans in place now, folks, because you need to do it before it happens. I'm not saying it will. I pray it never does. I pray it never does get to that. But you never know. I'd rather have it in place and not need it than need it and we have no clue what we're doing. Rabbit. Yep. No, they're not. But we have planned. And by the way, y'all, the pup will be here soon. And I was talking to my breeder the other night, and yeah, the new pup. He told me, see here, when he was 5 weeks old, he was already 15 pounds. So I can only imagine what he's going to be when we go pick him up. But I'm getting excited and get that little guy home and get him settled in and get him acclimated to his Uncle Cole. And because he is technically his nephew, this is a pup of one of Cole's brothers. And get them acclimated and let them spend time together and do whatever they do to bond, and let Cole start teaching him the ropes, and then I'll start teaching him basic things as we interact, and get that boy growed up so he can do his part too. Pepper Book Club's in the building, my brother, my man. How you doing? Good to see you and Skull. LMD, I never said his name. And you will know his name when you meet him for the first time. And his name is top secret and under wraps. So we left it at that. But he is a beautiful brindle pup that I'm stoked. But anyway, that is the plan. Cole is part of security force, because y'all know pets, animals can smell and sense things before humans do. So, they will both have their place and tasks when necessary. You got to think about also at night and having to be outside at night, patrolling, protecting the property, the animals, whatever it may be. Do you have the means to do that? And can it be done? That's what we have to do. And no, computer, you're not going to restart. You're really not. Not now. But I will say this: the Four Horsemen ride tonight on Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival's channel. So directly after my live stream, please join the Four Horsemen. We're saddling back up and we are riding, plain and simple. If you have questions, put them in all caps so I don't miss them as I scan the chat and try to talk at the same time, which has been a challenge for me because I like hanging out with y'all and I want to read what everybody's talking about and what's going on. Little Lone Prepper, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. But yeah, you got to think about, you basically are going to have to do some type of patrolling 24 hours a day and night, rain, snow, whatever. And that's not fun. There's nothing fun about walking around at night. It's cold and it's raining and or snowing if need be to protect and guard, but it has to be done. Rob in the garden, welcome in, my brother. How you doing? So, once you have either reached your location or everybody has come to your location, now you can breathe a little easier now that everybody that's supposed to be there is there, and you can start doling out the duties. Who's in charge of medical, who's in charge of food, who's in charge of accommodations for everybody that showed up. Okay. um we have those plans in place. I'll leave it at that. What the professor say? Skull, Nightbot. Even robots need tacos and coffee. Skull, the professor. But those are the things that are going to happen. Everybody should already have thought this through, have made plans to move forward. So there are no so-called proverbial hiccups. By the way, folks, if you have not, do me a favor, smash the like button, share this out. And then after the live stream, before you go check out the Four Horsemen, leave a comment. I don't care what you do. If you just put in a comment, new puppy, there you go. But, oh, you're more than welcome, Eloa Ministries. And by the way, I'm glad you brought that up. Eloa Ministries said, Vision, thanks for the grandma's cure list cures. Absolutely, the PDF, yes. By the way, all of my folks over on Patreon, keep your eyes open because we will probably have a members only Patreon live stream this Friday night. We had one last Friday for the members here on YouTube, and if you didn't show up, you didn't win nothing. But Patreon folks, the paid members, live stream is more than likely going to be this coming Friday, and I'll put it up over there tomorrow. So if you're on Patreon and you are a paid member, please turn on your notifications so that you will be notified and you'll get the link to click and join Friday. But we got to do the things that we need to do to take care of us and our families when chaos is abound, when turmoil is at its worst. We got to make sure we're going to be all right. And these are the things that unfortunately have to be planned, have to be thought through, and have to be talked about. Talk with your group about who's doing what, when do we do it, and this is the important thing, what are the key words that trigger us to start putting our plans in place. That's what we got to do. You got to work. We got to plan this stuff out. Because the more you plan, the more you prepare, and the more you practice, doesn't make perfect. It just means that things will go much smoother. Are we going to run into glitches and problems and things? Absolutely. But we can problem solve on the move. And things like that. Kay, so good to see you. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Teresa, there you are. How you doing? How you be? And I didn't hear anything about you giving away all the secrets we talked about in the members only live stream. So all I can say is thank you. Mountain Survival One, good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. Hope you had an amazing day. Thank you for joining us. But folks, the way the world is going now, I'm not scared because we all know where fear comes from. Um, Good evening, Donald H. Hoot, good to see you. How you been? Welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. Greenleaf, there you are. How you doing? How you been, Greenleaf? It's been a minute. It is good to see you. Hope you had an amazing day today. Rob B's in the place. Hey, good to see you, Rob. Welcome in. No one's coming to save you. If you're waiting on public services to come save you, don't count on it, folks. Not even that four-letter agency that starts with an F and ends with an A. They don't care about you. They're not coming to save you. If they come to your house, they're coming to take everything you've got. And that's another thing. If a group of whoever shows up at your house, they're there to take what you may have. Period. Can you defend yourself and everything you have? And exactly, LMD. That's true. Um, you got to make sure. No, it ain't FOFA. It's FEMA, meaning FEMA. If they show up at your house, they're there to take what you got. They ain't there to help. And I would never depend on your government for help. Canna John, good to see you, my brother. Hope everything's going mighty swell up north and that you're not too cold. And I hope you guys don't have snow, if any. Um, Feather Fox, welcome in. But you got to be able to defend yourself because they're coming after your seed dispensers, your freedom seeds, any type of food you may have, any type of water, medical supplies, everything, medications, everything. They not the door-to-door vacuum cleaner. They're not selling vacuum cleaners. So we have to make sure that we can protect not only ourselves, our family, our loved ones, but the stuff we have to survive. That is the key. Got to make sure, So I have nothing. They can't have it. Right. Chance, good to see you. Yeah, they do. Anti, trusting no one peacefully, believing nothing. That's right. Exactly. Exactly. And anti yard birds. My man, how are you? Good to see you. So, the first thing is secure your perimeter, secure the property. Okay. Whether you have to set up guard duty, whether it's in 4-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts, six, it depends on how many people you have, but you got to work it out. You got to figure it out, and it has to be done. So, God's Blade 300, good to see you, my brother. I hope you and the family are doing well. Skull to you. So, that's the first thing. You got to lock down the perimeter and the rest of your property to make sure you can protect it, guard it, and watch out. Because keep this in mind, folks, you have home field advantage. It's your house. It's your house. And every man that's in the chat, no matter where you live, you should be able to turn out every single light in your house and walk through the house without running into walls, furniture. Now, I'm gonna take off the table them little nasty Legos, Lincoln Logs, all that stuff. If you step on it, you're gonna give away your position. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. But you should be able to walk through your house in pitch darkness. Guys and ladies, walk through the house with all the lights out. See how far you can get without bumping into something. KP, good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. CUCV Farmer said, Trent, my dad has a 70-foot harvester silo, 75 feet off the ground. What do you think about being on the roof with binoculars and radio to watch for groups coming? Will not be able to blend in. CUCV Farmer, I'll say this. If you can hide up there inconspicuously to keep watch, do it. But if you're up here and you're on this thing and you're perched up there and it's during the day and they can see you a half a mile or a mile away, I'm not too sure about that. But at night, yes. And have your light discipline at its best. But yeah, that's not a bad idea, especially if you have something with you that you can reach out and touch somebody with. Yeah, go for it. It's a good idea. JD, so good to see you. Anti said, but I love chasing lasers all over my walls and floors. Yeah, I'm with you. I understand. And if you got a laser, you still should not be able to bump into a wall or fall over the couch, and that's okay. Yeah. So, folks, those are the things we got to think about. Coastal Cajun, good to see you. That's right. He said, darn night lights all over the house. Kill night vision. Yeah. Coastal, I hope your wife is doing better. She's continuously in our prayers. So I just want to let you know I am praying for her and I have been praying for her. So I hope she's better. Matter of fact, I hope she's home. And, but yeah, night lights all over the place. You got to do something about that, folks. I don't know. Do you? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Feather Fox says, what about security shutters on the windows, the rolling kind? Well, the ones that you pull and roll up, security wise, that's fine. As long as they're secure enough that nothing can come through them, fine. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be. Okay. But that sounds to me like just another layer of security for inside the house. And there are people in the chat that are smarter than me that can give their 2 cents. You got that right, Ed. Ed said it gets hot on top of roofs in hot climates. Yes. And freezy freeze in the winter. Good. Thanks. She's still in ICU, medical CRU improv. Okay. I will continue to pray for her, bruh. He's able, regardless. He is able. You got that right, Connie Corso. Yep, he said sand 8 inches, 8 feet, 8 inches of sand will stop a 50 cal. That is true. I talked about last week about, from the floor up, lining it with sandbags all the way around the inside of the house for some extra protection. It works and it's cheap. You can buy sandbags on Amazon. Tuck, so good to see you. You can, in theory, install roll down shutters on the inside of windows and doors. You can. You can put up, like what is that movie? The Purge, where the security system, everything comes down over the windows and the doors. You can do that. You can do that. Not a bad idea. Yep. Michelle the Great, is so good to see you. Yep. She said, build a cinder block room in your basement. Most cities will provide you with sandbags. Yeah. The sand hide thermal signature. No, but lead paint does. I did a live stream talking about lead based paint. Was it a scam and why? It's somewhere it's in the playlist. Um, I don't know if sand will, but I would probably, well, no, that's not a good idea either. I was going to say turn the air conditioner on and turn it all the way down, but that just makes the air conditioner run and noise and all that good stuff. Betty Lou, welcome in. How you be? Um, okay, Chance said LMD sand warms up or cools down like a big heat sink. Yeah. Old tires stacked around the house. Yep, 6 feet high, filled with dirt. That works too. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all come up with some amazing uh, commentary. That's absolutely right. Oki Khan, welcome in. Did I see you come in? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well if you're here. Yeah, yeah. Say, Michelle the Great said, paint your homes with EMP paint. It's black. Yeah, yep. Rob in the garden said, here in Florida, we don't have basements. There you go. Find a safe room. Make a safe room if need be. The interior most wall. Yardbird said Dutch smeared mud on their skin and it fooled the predators' thermovision. Just saying. Yeah, Dutch did, Yardbird. He did put mud on himself and it fooled the thermal. But in theory, that may work. But you know how the movies go. You know, Regional Sky Girl. It is so good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Skull to you. Hope you've been doing well. Hope everything is great where you are, for sure. Dave Busby, welcome in, my brother. Hope you're doing well. All right, Coffee. Yep, y'all make it a great night. Much love to you all. Thank you, Coffee. I appreciate you. Be safe and have an amazing evening. But see, these are some of the things that we need to think about, right? Because thermal goes through walls regardless. Our house is brick. That may mitigate a few things, but it's still going to give off a signature imprint on the inside. Um, from there, Yardbird said $5 says Vision is the only one here who got the Predator reference. I did, bruh. Soon as you said Dutch, I knew exactly who you was talking about. Jason Hewing, good to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Hope Shannon's doing great. Thank you for joining us. Stuart, welcome in. Good to see you as well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Um, but yeah, I mean, these are the things. Is it overboard? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it is. Um, I do know for a fact that lead-based paint will kill thermo in a heartbeat. Can't get through it, can't get past it, can't even get microwave listening devices in or out. Wi Fi, not out. Yeah, yeah. So, these are things to think about because no one is coming to save you. We got to do our due diligence to protect us and our families and our loved ones when the time comes, when the balloon goes up, when it's full blown onslaught. We got to handle it. We got to survive it, y'all. And we're doing well, Jason. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Appreciate you. Um, wear reflective clothing, even a silver survival blanket. Wondering. That's a good point, Blackbird. What are you doing, dude? Okay. That may work. I don't know. I may have to call up a few people and do some testing and see what we can come up with. Exactly, Stuart. Old detective here. Prepare for the unthinkable. Yeah, exactly. Okay, Connie Corso said that does work if you are completely covered in it. Yep. Our ancestors killed saber-toothed tigers with pointy sticks. We'll get through it. Exactly. Yep. Chance said survival blankets work. They just can't touch you. The heat builds up underneath, though. True. True. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly, Cajun Prepper. He said create travel lanes in the house that create clear lanes with cover lanes on each side. That right there, man, I wish. You know what? I gotta pin that. I'm pinning that to the top of the chat. Uh, everybody needs to see that. Create travel lanes in the house that create clear lanes with cover lanes on each side. There you go. My man, Dan H., good to see you, my brother. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Dan said, I'll be your Superman. Well, I Superman and Batman, they had some rough turf going on there, bruh. But I'm with you, bruh, and I appreciate you for sure. Um, but the thing is, y'all, I'm not giving you solutions. I am giving you ideas in always wanting people to think things through. Because like the old detective said, Stewart said, prepare for the unthinkable. And here is an unthinkable. It's morbid, but how are you going to deal with and handle the unalived intruders after the skirmish is over? That's another thing we got to think about. Yeah, exactly, Blackbird. They are, and that's okay. How are you going to dispose of unalived unthinkables? Think about it. Um, JD said, "I got a backhoe, and I'm not afraid to use it." I'm with you on that, my brother. I'm with you on that. Um, but those are things that we have to think about. How are you going to deal about with the passing of somebody in your group? I mean, I already know how I'm going to deal with it. Um, they're definitely going to get a proper burial. Um, things like that. We got to think about that stuff. The things we don't want to think about, we got to think about them. What happens if, for some reason, somebody in your group gets injured and we've done everything medically that we know how to deal with them and they pass or succumb to their wounds? Those are the things we got to think about, y'all. One thing that I'm always thinking about, how are we going to protect the babies, the kids, from things like that? You know, you may want to have a designated person that stays with them, that deals with them, that talks with them, that keeps them calm and safe at the same time. Barbecue sauce. You know, these are the unthinkables because no one is coming to save you. Nobody. And we're on our own, folks. I'm trying to see KP said have a barbecue with the remains. Well, you know me, that gets shipped to New York to the Livingston man because we're entrepreneurs and we got a special blend. So, you know, we've already got that worked out. And you know, we got a new freeze-dried eyeball parfait coming out too very soon. Very tasty. Yeah. Yeah. Oops said, beware. Teriyaki disease may spread rapidly. Yeah. Exactly, Stuart. Someone who is hopefully tactful with the kids. Absolutely. Absolutely. That person has to be tactful with the kids and have, you know, I'm just not going to leave. Well, our youngest is 17, but, you know, we got kids, but I'm not going to just leave them with anybody. They're going to have to be a reputable person, like Stuart said, and tactful. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Amy King, welcome in. So good to see you. Thank you for joining us. You know, we have to think about these things. You know, and I can't emphasize. Stuart said the best thing: plan for the unthinkable. What if you know, you have to? I don't know. What say somebody in your group that has medical training or experience or whatever? They have to stitch somebody up. Simple as let's go. Simple as that. Zip strips, whatever. You may have to get out the old needle and thread and literally stitch that wound closed. And then make sure it stays clean and wrap it and all that stuff. Those are the things we got to think about. You know, I'm not going to lie, there's been many nights I've sat up thinking about the what ifs and the unthinkable. How do I deal with that? How we deal with it as a family, as a group. Um, Michael Wolf, welcome in. Exactly, Feather Fox. There is so much to consider. Yeah, so much to consider. Little Lone Prepper said, I hope to have someone, my brother in law, a former deacon, who will be willing to have a small Bible reading prayer service on Sunday. Absolutely. That's yeah, that's mandatory here, without a doubt. That's right, Teresa. Check your link. Guardian said he got a 401 error. Okay, tell Guardian he can go just straight to hamradioprep.com and use our coupon code Vision20, and it's good, and they'll record it. But yes, I'm glad you mentioned that, Teresa. I got some work to do. I got to do some updates on the website, adding some new affiliates. I'm adding a new freeze-dried company that deals only in freeze-dried meat, protein. So that will be coming soon. Astantine, so good to see you. How are you? Hope you're having a great day. Stewart said, as a former cop, I have experienced the OMG of what humans are capable of, but I could still be shocked. Absolutely. And I come from a family background of police and first responders and medics and all that stuff too. And I've heard stories and seen the pictures, but yes, and still be shocked, Stuart. So, we got to do all that stuff. Prepper Book Club, you better charge them radios tonight. Tonight. I always checking radios and rotating out and charging and checking frequencies and antennas and all of that. All of my radios. There you go. Amy King said, Walmart or Hobby Lobby, sewing area, look for upholstery curved needles sets. Those might come in handy for sewing someone up more so than straight ones. That's very true, Amy. And I do have some of the curved ones. Matter of fact, I got a whole bunch of them. And the not thread, but the stitches, y'all know what I mean, that go with it, as well as a boatload of zip strips and everything else. Red Cardinal 3, that's who I was looking for. I knew I saw you earlier. Good to see you. He said, I need a good set of radios. What's recommended? What kind are you looking for? You looking for ham radios, Cardinal 3? If you're looking for ham radios, this is just me personally. Some people in the chat can back it up. I would go with the Baofeng UV5RM. You can get a set of them for like $50 on Amazon that come with the extended antennas, the key mics, a whole bunch of additional accessories. So for ham radio, I would go with the Baofeng UV5RM, because with the 5RMs, they are unlocked and they have all the frequencies: FSR, GMRS, ham, and airplane traffic. Yep. UV5RM. Yep. Yes. Here we go. Baofeng UV5RM. I just dropped it in the chat. There you go. That's what I would recommend. Now, there's people in the chat that may say Jesus and some other Baofengs, but for me and mine, that's what we use, the latest and greatest, because it's easy and it's programmable. And if you look on Amazon and you buy it as a bundle, like 2 or more together, you will probably also get with it the programming cable that you can plug into a laptop and use the Chirp application with it to program in frequencies and all that. And there's a lot smarter people in the chat than myself. Chance, I know, is one of the guys. CUCV Farmer. Yep. The AR 5RMs are good too. Yep. CUCV Farmer, I was going to say, he's going to chime in and give him his comments as well. Grit and Grace, so good to see you. Hope you're doing well. But that's my opinion. That's what I use for ham radios. Grit and Grace, Tell Badger I said behave. And if not, make him spend the night with Merle and see how that works out. But what time is it? It's 7:30. Wow, time flies when you're having fun. But folks, no one's coming to save you. Think of the unthinkable. Prep for the unthinkable if necessary. And we're going to be all right. Again, for all of my paid members on Patreon, look out for a note from me. We're going to do we're going to do a members only Patreon live stream Friday night. And I'm giving away some more stuff. Yeah, giving away some more stuff. So that's for you folks. But I do want to say this to everybody because y'all are absolutely fantastic. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight on Turmoil Tuesday. No one's coming to save you. So put the plans in place to not only survive, but to thrive. When the balloon goes up, when chaos turns the corner, and when mayhemicness bounces down your street, your driveway, that we all can deal with it. Yeah. Michael Wolff said you could be fine long as you don't live in a major city with the protesters if you are so. Do the live stream after 7 Friday. I'll be doing truck or treat. Yeah, it'll probably be around 8 o'clock, Teresa, Friday night. And I forgot his trick or treat because out here there are no trick or treaters other than me. So I just trick or treat out of my own bowl in the house. Yeah. But with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Smash that like button, share this live stream out, come back and leave a comment. And we will see everybody in the next video. But remember this, folks, keep on prepping because your family depends on you and it depends on your life. God bless everybody. Have an amazing evening. Make it an amazing evening, and we will see you in the next video. Take care and God bless. The time is now.